3,
Sorry.
2.
Oh, Dan left.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bold Predictions Podcast. We are your 4 hosts. My name is AJ.
I'm Richie.
I'm Dan.
I'm Jacob.
And we are here on a lovely, it's Friday, right? Yeah, we are here on Friday, and we are bringing you another episode for you to enjoy. Are you guys excited for this episode?
Sure.
Very much.
You guys really are just the step in our step for these podcasts.
Let's go!
We had like the clapping ceremony last time in 2021. Woo! And then now we just like, yeah. We're ready. Shows how much we enjoyed this podcast, all right? But yeah. So we got a lovely episode in store for you. We're gonna try and make it decently length as we've been doing. But Dan, I hate you, Dan. But all right. So let's just get started before any more innuendos come out. So we're gonna start off with our team talks. Woo!
Woo! Team talks.
All right. So, Giants or Packers? Who would like to answer our team talk question first?
I would.
The Giants fans or the
I
Packers
would love
fans?
to.
The Giants fans would like to get the first question. So, this question I thought of as a little bit of an add-on from last week's question, since we were talking about Jason Garrett last week and how he was maybe going to another team. So, my question for you is, do I want to ask it this way? I'm trying to figure out if I want to ask it this way.
Okay.
So, let's say he's going to go. Okay? He's going to another team.
Okay.
Are you happy about that? For one. That's part one. And then my second part is, would you want someone as a college head coach or a college coach come in to replace him for an offensive coordinator?
Jacob, you can go first since you look like you...
So, Garrett being gone is great. I don't know about you, but I don't really like the flat route. I don't like the curl route. And I don't like checkdowns. But that's just me. And that's kind of all he did. And then he didn't decide to use Wayne Gallman, who's kind of the only player we had because Daniel Jones can't throw a ball or hold on to it to save his life. But Garrett only used the same 3 play calls the entire game. It was honestly junk. And him being gone is good because that means there's going to be another crappy team in the league that the Giants can beat. So, you know what? Works out both ways. And then, I don't know about the second one. I kind of like the idea of having new blood on the team. What I mean by new blood, I mean like a different coach. Not like new blood as in draft guys. They're always new players. But if you have a new coach, then a new mentality is kind of like added. And college coaches are a bit more ambitious than an NFL coach because an NFL coach can get a contract and he can kind of sit pretty. A college coach, they can kind of be, they're not necessarily able to be cut at any time, but their contracts are often smaller and they're not as significant. So, you get that ambition on the team and that kind of transfers a little bit. I think a college coach would be great. I wouldn't mind a college coach way back when we didn't get Judge. I wanted a college coach because the ambition that he has and the drive of I'm now a big dude. So I kind of think I like those. I like the odds there.
I totally understand what you mean by that. I can actually agree with you there. I do like the idea of like a new young mind, like energetic, like kind of eager to work and to get a system implemented. However, they don't always work. And if they do work, it takes a few years for that to happen. And unfortunately, we're in a situation where a lot of our players and our GM are on the hot seat right now. And I think they need something quick or something quicker to work. Because this is Jones' prove-it year. If he sucks, they move off him. Same with our GM. They both were given another year to prove themselves. So as far as letting Garrett go, I think at the moment it's in our best interest to keep him. As crazy as that sounds, I think he did a very mediocre job. There were some games where he would give the ball to Evan Ingram in the backfield as a running back consistently, and it would just suck. But there were games like against Dallas where he had some good play calls and drew some things up. I don't know why we only got 3 points in the second half and why we couldn't score, but I would say that's probably because our offensive players suck more than him. In all, I want Garrett to stay. I want to keep this team intact, at least for another year, get some continuity. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did leave, because I think, especially for a team like the Chargers, who don't like overpaying for good coaches, he would be a good fit there because he's better than Lynn. He'll be mediocre, and maybe with Herbert at the helm, he would take the team like to be 10-6 and probably no more. I don't want them to get Garrett because I think they can do a lot better. But as far as what their history shows, I think Garrett would be a good fit there. So keep Garrett. Oh, another year of mediocrity.
I guess, Richie's on the keep Garrett side, and Jacob's on the not keep Garrett side. So then I'm going to ask this for Jacob. Do you have a replacement in mind at all?
No, I just don't want Garrett.
No?
He didn't
win. Okay, that's understandable.
He didn't win. Like, look at what he had with the Cowboys. He had Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott, and Dak Prescott in the backfield. You got a damn good trio right there. And the best you could do is 8-8. So you put that, like, we don't have such a great trio. Like, we got Danny Dimes, Barkley, and then name a wide receiver, because there's like a couple of them, but they're all not that great. You know what I mean? If the best you can do is Sterling Shepard, who's a slot guy, then sorry, that's not that great when you're putting him up against Amari Cooper, you know? So, I mean, Barkley is better than Zeke, but, you know, Danny Dimes is not better than Dak. So, you know, they're up in the air. And at the end of the day, Garrett couldn't do anything. Like, granted, he didn't have a great team, but if all you're doing is giving the same play calls, then you've given up. I want a new guy. I want someone that's able to be like, yeah, I'm going to throw the ball downfield. I'm going to get that, 12-yard post route in there instead of, curls. Love curls.
There were a lot of curls, and teams knew that was coming, especially on third down. That's why we didn't convert as many as we probably should have. I'll give you that, definitely. Yeah.
So, I want ambition. I want the, take it from the Packers playbook. I want Aaron Rodgers chucking the ball to Devontae Adams at a 12-yard post route and having Devontae run another 40. That would be nice to see instead of a 5-yard curl route and then another 5-yard curl route. And then maybe on the off chance, a check down. I want the game to be entertaining.
I know Dan has brought this up before, that Giants are one of the most boring teams that he usually watches. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what Jacob's saying. It's all short plays, which is weird because like Darius Slayton's like a big dude, a really fast dude. Like they could use him how kind of we're using like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but honestly he's probably better at all-around receiver than Marquez is. Yeah, from what I've seen, like I feel like your deep threat is Evan Ingram, which just shouldn't be the case.
I mean, Evan Ingram has a lot of drops, but still made the Pro Bowl. So I mean, he is a deep threat, Dan. Leave him alone. But one more thing before we move on to the next question. So, yeah, you're going to hate me for this, but people are saying head coach Adam Gase is a better offensive coordinator. If there was someone out there that was a really bad head coach but could make a good offensive coordinator, would you want him?
I would give an arm and a leg back for Shermer, but I know as far as a culture standpoint goes, that's not going to happen. So
I still want a college guy. I want him. I'm not a big fan of the NFL coaches we got, and any of the good ones that I'm going to name, we don't have the money for, and they don't want to go to a shitty team.
All right. I'll give you that. Dan, anything you want to add before we move on?
Not really. I think either way, like keeping him or not, I don't think things will change too much unless they get like a real like stud. But that's expensive, as they said before.
Alrighty. So I'll move on to the Packer question now. And this is another similar question as I had for last week. So, obviously, Packers are the number 1 seed, which means we have a bye. But is that really good for us? Because, so my question is, do you think the bye is beneficial for us, or is it bad for us this week?
Oh, that is a good debate, I guess. I guess the buy-in itself. Well, I think of it more from the home field advantage throughout the playoff standpoint. Like since we have that, and every other team besides Chicago is a warm weather team, I think that's like the huge advantage. But yeah, the bye week, we tend not to be a great bye week team. To be honest, I don't know why. We just don't. So was it this year we came out against? Was it Tampa that we got railed by, or was it Viking? Okay, Tampa. Yeah. So that's obviously not great. Yeah, we're not a good bye week team, but I think just healing up like our offensive line, letting Elton Jenkins like settle into his left tackle role now. I think right now, just with everything going on, our team's kind of switching some players around and incorporating like Tavon Austin a little bit more, just things like that. I think it's not the end of the world. It's better than not having home field and having to play like at the Saints Stadium or something. So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I was looking it up, and after the bye week under LaFleur, we are 1-2. So in the regular season, we're 0-2. We lost to the 49ers, I think it was, on the after the bye week, and we got killed by them last year. Yeah. And then we beat the Seahawks in the playoffs last year after our first round bye. And then obviously this year we had the Tampa Bay situation. So it's really hard to tell. I mean, I'm hoping with the playoffs they'll understand that it's a one and done situation and not you have another game to bounce back next week. So I'm hoping it could work out well for us.
I guess when you think about the teams we had to play after a bye, it's not really a good mixture of bad and good. It's just all really solid teams like Tampa, 49ers, and Seattle were all great teams. So, like if it's 49ers last year, we're of course going to just destroy us because our run defense can't do anything. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but that could be like argued two ways as well, because you have an extra week to prepare for these guys. So you should really be ready for these guys and not just get splattered on the wall against them.
Sure. Do we know who Packers would have to play if like Saints lose? Who's the next team up?
We'll save that because that was going to be my next question of ranking the teams that we could be playing.
Okay.
But yeah. Before we move into that, actually, do we have anything from the Giants fans in the house?
The Giants always suck coming off bye weeks. Keep them rolling, keep them hot. That's all I got.
Yeah, I agree. If Packers had any major injuries that you guys had, they can maybe get someone back for. It was good, but you lost Bakhtiari and you weren't getting him back. So, what did you say, Jacob? Keep him rolling, keep him hot.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, then I'll move on to the second Packer question then, and it's ranking the 4 teams that you would want to play from easiest to hardest, and those 4 teams would be the Bears, the Rams, the Buccaneers, or Washington, and put them in weakest to hardest order.
Oh, we're just excluding Saints and Seattle because I guess they're better.
Well, in the divisional, the Saints, we wouldn't play them in the divisional round if they win.
Oh.
And then the Seahawks, if they win, they would be playing the Saints if they made it.
Okay.
We play the lowest seed.
So it's Washington, Tampa, Rams, and Chicago. So I'd want Washington's the easiest, Bears are second easiest, then Rams, and then Bucs are the hardest.
Okay. Do you think there's going to be an upset now? This is just a general question. Do you think Washington is going to pull it off?
No shot.
Because so many teams are saying Washington is going to do it.
No.
Who are they up against again?
Tampa Bay.
Honestly, I was about to call them the Redskins. They're kind of hot right now. I like the idea, but Tampa's too good. I like the idea, but Tampa's too good.
And plus, it's just Brady's experience is going to trump everything.
I don't know. Chase Young wants him. I mean, just saying.
I will say this. I think the Tampa Bay's offense and Washington's defense are ranked very highly against each other. So that could be something else. The real battle is going to be between Washington's offense and Tampa's defense.
Washington's like legit not going to score. Like,
Well, Tampa Bay's defense hasn't been that hot at the back half of the games.
That's true.
You're playing Alex Smith.
I mean, they've had their very well games because they killed Atlanta and Detroit in their last 2 weeks. But they haven't been super hot.
Because they had two backs, Gibson and McKissick. And then they, on the off chance, they had McLaurin.
McLaurin?
My bad. That's it. That's literally it. And then they got broken Alex Smith trying to win a big game, which he's never done in his entire life.
Yeah. I think J.D. McKissick's going to get like 15 receptions this game.
Yeah.
They're going to check it down so much.
Yep.
Well, that's how they got to win the game, man.
Yeah.
Rich, you got any input?
Yeah, what's your guys' order for those 4 teams?
In terms of teams that like I would want you guys to play, I would say Washington, then I would say Rams, Chicago, Tampa, because I don't trust that quarterback for LA.
Well, is Goff going to play the next week though? Like if they win?
Not sure.
I was thinking it as he is playing.
Okay, I think I would still do it that way as well. Chicago's offense is kind of playing like well right now. I know you guys only put up 17 against you guys, but I still think they're better than the Rams at the moment.
I'm way more scared of the Rams defense, to be honest. We seem to have figured out Chicago's, but the Rams is actually hard.
See, I'm looking at it in the way of I'm looking at it 2 ways now because our offense, I feel like it can handle any defense, even though we haven't played the Rams or Washington's defense. But looking at it, our defense wise against other teams' offenses, right now. Well, does anyone know if Cooper Kupp is playing this week?
That's a good.
Let's say probably. They'd probably try to force him out there.
Okay. So let's say he does play this week and play for the rest of the playoff games if they do win. So I mean, I would want to play Washington because they're the easiest compared to offense wise. Then I'd want to play. I'd probably agree with Richie, and I'd want to play the Rams. And then Chicago and Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay, their offense is dominant with their run in Ronald Jones. Chicago, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. And you might see it in the AFC side if Cleveland wins against Pittsburgh. But, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Rams, with that new quarterback at the helm, I'd rather attack him and make him nervous. So I'd rather play him. And then, like Jacob said, broken Alex Smith, or like Jacob and Dan said, broken Alex Smith has not won a big game. So he's probably the easiest. But
Cooper Kupp
that is the far odds. Okay, so yeah. I'll still stick with the same order then. But Jacob, did you give your 4 ranked out of those?
I did. But the teams are Washington, Tampa, Bucks. What's the other one?
You say Bucks twice.
Did I say Bucks twice?
Yeah. It's Washington, Chicago, Rams, Bucks.
Washington, Chicago, Rams, Bucks. I'd want to play Chicago because I think they're the easiest. Then I'd play the Redskins.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Canceled!
Yeah, the football team. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Get a better name. And then the other 2 in any which way order. I think the other 2 are both going to give you a run for your money. But I think you'll still come out either way. But I think since the football team is still hot, I think they might be a little bit harder to beat. But Chicago, I don't think that they deserve to be in the playoffs in the first place. So.
All right, and before I move on to the Giants question, I'm going to ask you all again, who's the realistic option that we're going to play?
Tampa.
If Tampa wins, do they play us? Is that how it works?
They're the 5th seed. Rams are 6th. Chicago 7th.
Tampa.
See, I think we'll play the Rams.
Well, the Rams are playing the Seahawks, right?
Yes.
They're not going to win.
Divisional opponents are always hard against each other. So
I could see you playing the Seahawks.
we can't play the Seahawks in the divisional.
Yeah, the next one afterward. So I could see
in the championship. You think they're? Oh, I don't know.
I see the Rams. Yeah. But
Well, I think I don't. I see us playing the Rams. Richie, Dan, what about you guys?
Yeah, if Rams win, we're playing them, but I don't think Rams win. I think Saints win, Rams win, so I guess we're playing Tampa. Fuck.
Yeah, I agree with him, with Dan. I say Tampa, but in our bold predictions later, I say you play the Chicago Bears. So.
Oh, this guy. All right, we're moving on. All right, moving on. We'll move on to the Richie rant now, because this is about to be the Richie's time to go off. So, for our Giants fans in the house, do you blame the Eagles for not making the playoffs, or do you blame yourselves?
It's absolutely 100% the Giants' fault. You can't expect to only win 6 games and make the playoffs. However, if I want to be more specific, Evan Ingram, there was a stat, I don't know what it was, but in terms of drops and how they affected the outcome of the games, Evan Ingram was more than double second place's affected drops. And it was because Evan Ingram had probably 3 interceptions on the season by himself alone. And it's insane. You go back to whatever week it was, Thursday Night Football, when we played Eagles. If he doesn't make that drop, we win the game. We're at 7-9 final, and we don't need we don't need Philly to help us get in the playoffs. So 100% it is on us. However, I do believe that Philly pulling Hurts was a complete disrespect to the league, because Joe Judge, our head coach, said it. He said, players come in, especially with this season, and have worked their asses off harder than any other year because of everything that's going on and having to stay away from families, and people can't party if they're getting in trouble, and wearing masks and social distancing and all the background stuff, people putting in all their time and effort for it, just for Doug Peterson to pull their starting quarterback for a 3rd string guy. First off, it's not even sure that Carson Wentz is going to even lead the team. So he could still even be the guy next year. So they played a guy just to tank. The game was close. Hurts wasn't perfect. By any means, he wasn't perfect, but he was getting the job done. And oh my God, it frustrates me to no end that a head coach, he still has his job after doing that intentionally. I cannot believe it. They went from the 9th pick to the 6th pick because of that. And you know what? Philly sucks at drafting. 100% they suck at drafting.
That's pretty good to me. I'd want that 6th pick. That's pretty good.
Yeah, okay. Well,
unless you're eyeballing some guy.
Yeah, so basically they're saying, okay, well, with the 6th pick now, we're not going to get anyone they'll probably get either a top cornerback or a top edge rusher now. And they're both going to bust because Philly is terrible at drafting. They keep making the wrong choices, and Howie Roseman, I think that's his name, the GM, he's supposed to be this guy, this coveted GM who's amazing because he backloaded all of Philly's contracts to either win the Super Bowl, so they had a really good team, and now they're in cap hell. And they can't even get a new guy because no one's going to want that GM position. I think I saw $60 million under the cap. Are you kidding me? How dumb do you have to be?
God.
I'd like to bring it again. I bring it up again. We would make better GMs than these fools that get paid for this. So, despite all that anger, it was the Giants' fault, but I still can't believe that Doug Peterson has his job. The players have probably have lost faith in him now, because they wanted to attack this man on the sidelines for pulling Hurts, especially their leaders like Jason Kelsey, and I love it how I just love it how because we have an Eagles fan, he was like got 6 pick though, and even Dan says it, and it's just from a tanking perspective, it makes sense, but when you do it that blatantly obvious, you're putting into question the league. There's already some conspiracy theories that the games are rigged to begin with, so.
Well, how do you feel about the Jets blatantly throwing that Raiders game?
Well, it's the same shit, but like we don't know. Due to Greg Williams, I can't even hear myself speak. Due to his play calling and due to his past history, he loves blitzing. He loves going all out. And in the game when they did I think it was cover 0, Carr was 0 for 6 in that game. Yeah, 99.9% of the time, players or coaches will not do cover 0. But his tendency is to blitz. He is I even say dirty play caller because he had all the scandals with trying to take people out. So he's already aggressive. He wants to get after the quarterback. They didn't do it. Maybe it was choking or losing intentionally. But if the stats can kind of back it up. So, but this was blatantly, obviously choking the game away.
How do you feel about 15-0 teams that sit because of resting or whatnot that aren't playing for the integrity of the game to get 16-0, and just any teams that are sitting players really? Because just playing like devil's advocate, why would Eagles want to hurt like any of their players for a meaningless game?
Hey, before you answer that question, Jacob has not even answered the first question I asked.
Sorry.
Just saying.
That's all good. I'm good.
Do you have anything to rant about before Dan continually pile drives Richie?
Eagles suck.
All right, Dan, go back to pile driving. You're good.
Well, they heard it. They can answer.
All right, so going with teams that sit players, I guess that could be an argument. I could see where you're coming from with that like they're not trying their hardest, so what's the point? But then I would say like, well, they've kind of earned that right. Philly by no means has earned the right to sit their players after going at that point 4-10-1 with a bunch of injuries. I'll give them that, but with complete dysfunction at the coaching and the quarterback position the whole year, they have not earned the right to say, okay, well, we're going to sit our players in case of injury. And what was your other one?
Like when a team's like 15-0, like just the integrity of like getting to 16-0, like pretty sure we did that. Packers did that in 2014. We were 15-0. We're just like, fuck it, we'll lose. And I think Colts have done that too, where they just tank for no reason.
But they don't. Well, see, that's the thing. They don't tank for a draft pick. They're not tanking for the offseason. They're I wouldn't even say tanking. They're resting their players. It's like a strategic way, and I guess you could say it's a strategic tank as well. But like I said, the Packers earned that right to do that. Philly by no means has earned the right to say, all right, Washington, you win the division. You did have another question, but I forget what it was.
Well, I just think of like Gardner Minshew too. Like he was healthy, and then Jaguars just like, fuck it, we're keeping this old guy who we don't even like. We're not gonna re-sign Mike Lennon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of teams do it. It's just like this one was just so blatantly obvious because the like a playoff spot was on the line. If that playoff spot wasn't on the line, no one would care. But I think every team kind of does it. I don't think the Eagles are like the only team who's.
Oh no, they're not. Absolutely not. It's just it's the one that's like affected me the most personally recently. What have you done for me recently? Fuck the Eagles. And yeah, absolutely, the Jaguars did it this year, and I think we might have talked about it on the podcast. If not, we talked about it on our own. With a healthy scratch of Minshew, they played Glennon just to tank.
Yeah.
And they probably said, all right, Glennon, well, if you can tank properly, you know, you can sit behind Lawrence next year. And it's like, don't do that. But I don't know.
I think I would be more on your side if you guys are like 9-7 or something. I just cannot get behind 6-10 getting to the playoffs. That's just so bad for me.
That's why I preface it with like, we don't deserve it in the first place.
Yeah.
But I would say none of the teams do.
Oh no, they don't.
Washington doesn't.
Put Dolphins in the fucking NFC East. Like.
Yeah.
And like it sucks too because like all your wins too are against like your divisional opponents. You guys like literally couldn't even win outside your division. That's like the sad part too.
Yeah.
Half their wins.
Yeah, like they were forced into some of these wins. Like they didn't even earn those.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts the most too because I do believe the Giants were the best team going into the last week. I know they didn't like play that well the whole game, but I do believe that with Jones getting healthy, we were the best team in the East. That's why also I'm pissed. If Jones went out there and just like we barely won and he looked like a dud, like I'd be mad. But like he was getting healthy. He did quarterback runs. Washington limped into the playoffs with a tanking Philly team. Maybe their defense was a tanking, but
Their defense was not tanking. Their defense was trying to win that game. If you watch that game, their defense was trying, and their offense just like died on the field.
Bro, that defensive tackle wanted Alex Smith's leg. Like he wanted that.
It was scary because like I was watching it and like the Washington could not get anything going for a good chunk of that because the Eagles defense was holding them so strongly. And then when you give the ball back, it's like you don't even have to put Washington on the field and the Eagles would throw it out of bounds. But I will say this before I move on. If this game wasn't flexed to the night, we would be the only people talking about it.
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. If you weren't a Giants fan, or maybe Dallas, if they win, you know, then no one would be talking about it. But because
That was really dumb in the league to do that. Like really, I know they're trying to like hype up the game and shit, but that was really dumb.
You can't hype up a game that like one team has everything to play for and the other team is literally just like, hey, we're gonna play some backyard football.
Yeah.
well, because they had the idea that Philly was actually going to be a real team, you know, true and honest, and actually like go to work and actually try to win. But no, they completely choked. Doug Peterson is a joke. I'm glad they won one Super Bowl because that's all they're gonna get for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Honesty and integrity are not synonymous with Philly. Like their fans and everything. Like that's just they're the dirt bags of the NFL with Dallas.
So yeah, I mean, Doug Peterson, he needs to be fired. If not now, then he needs to be because he's not getting trust in that locker room back. That's for sure. If you're saying, Richie, that people were they were pissed off to the point that they wanted to fight Doug Peterson on the sideline during that game, how are you getting a locker room back? You literally have to throw the franchise out the window. Pick up like how many freaking college guys? Just pick up 100 college guys, throw them on a team, and just rename your freaking franchise because you're not doing anything with these guys if you're still the head coach.
Absolutely.
But that leads me to one more thing. I mean, you guys kind of talked about it with Dan being the devil's advocate, but should Doug Peterson be punished because of this? Like by NFL, like higher ups in the NFL?
No.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, no.
Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
I just think it's not the league. The league shouldn't have say in what Philly does as an organization. I think the owners should sit back and be like, "What the fuck was that?" And they should punish someone interior, like inside the organization. But the league doesn't have a say in how a team should perform because, like Dan said, there have been choking jobs currently and in the past that have worked and screwed over other teams. Like when the Colts tanked for luck, they sat Peyton and I think they lost like 15 or 14 games that year just to get luck. So no, I don't think the league has any say in what each organization does, but I do believe that Philly should look on themselves and realize that everything about them is terrible and they're shit.
Well, I will say this: if the Packers did that, like all of the owners would be throwing something at our GM's windows and burning down his house.
Yeah.
Considering the Packers don't have one owner.
That must be so weird. Because of like
Bro,
a million.
I would love to be an owner of the Packers. That'd be wonderful, but can't. But yeah, Jacob, you were kind of left out of that whole conversation. Do you have anything you want to add?
Peterson shouldn't be punished at all. Should he be shunned a little? I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, that's it. I think, yeah.
Yeah, Richie kind of hit every point dead on.
And do I see the point of him choking? Yeah, but are they going to draft someone good? Probably not. So, It's okay.
So so basically they choked for no reason.
Yeah, and I'm fine with not having the Giants go to the playoffs. They didn't really deserve it, so it's okay.
Well,
There's always next year.
let me just before we move on, because team talk is gonna end after this one moment. But I just want to do two quick shout outs. Shout out to our editor Andrew. I forgot to shout him out at the beginning. And I'm shouting him out now because I think he should switch my face for the thumbnail to Richie's face. Hopefully he does that, because Richie went off that entire time. And I didn't have my chance to go off like I was going to, because Richie hit every point basically. And also, shout out to the Giants for beating the Seahawks and allowing the Packers to get the first seed.
You're welcome.
So, yeah. So we'll always appreciate those. But, yeah. So, that's the end of our team talk. And now we have the devil's advocate here to lead off the random rant conversation.
Yeah, so I got 6 spots right now. 5 of them are players, and one is kind of like a question, like a for fun hypothetical for your team. So pick a number 1 through 6. We'll start with Richie.
3.
3. All right, you got Justin Herbert and the Anthony Lynn firing.
Okay. After going back and looking at the stats and everything, I do think now that Herbert should be Rookie of the Year. So that's all I'm going to talk about with that. He's a phenomenal talent, and I think that Chargers should do something that they don't normally do and go after a top-tier head coach. I think Lynn getting fired was actually good for them, was amazing for them. It's going to suck that he has to learn a new system, but the upside that he has is up there with Mahomes and Rodgers and players of that tier. So I don't know who they're going to go for. I don't know who would be their best interest. Maybe the Chiefs offensive coordinator. I think they already interviewed him, but I do think that was the good choice for a quarterback who has shown that he can be phenomenal. So,
You guys have anything to add to that?
I mean, I'm glad Lynn is out of the job for the Chargers, because now Justin Herbert can have a new start with a new head coach, get them to work well together, and maybe that can lead to something, probably not something big next year, but maybe the year after that.
You got nothing, Jacob?
Jacob's our little quiet man back here.
I'll just support. It's okay.
Yeah, all right, so AJ, I'll go with you next. Pick a number 1 through 6 without 3.
All right. Let's go with number 5.
All right, so you're getting Cam Newton and his future.
Cam Newton and his future. Well, if I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's going to get re-signed with the Patriots. I don't know where I see him going yet. I would have to do more research on that. But I think with the Patriots, they're going to have to draft a QB at this point. They should have drafted one last year in the draft, I think, personally. But they have to get one this year. If they don't start off working someone now, then there's not really another place you can go. There's not really a lot of QBs on the market that are available. I mean, maybe they can go for a Colin Kaepernick, but there's not really a lot of QBs on the market. You have to look for someone in the draft. I don't know if they have a first round pick this year, because I feel like they never have a first round pick. But Cam Newton, I'm trying to think of teams that really need a quarterback. And what was the team? Washington, right? He might have gone to. That there were talks about him, rumored to him. I mean, I don't know. How old is Alex Smith? Does anyone know off the top of their head?
He was drafted the same year Rodgers was, so probably in the same ballpark as Rodgers.
He's old.
Okay, so he's getting up there. So he's might not 36. Come. Okay, so yeah. I mean, Cam Newton could add the spark that Dwayne Haskins was kind of lighting a little bit. But I mean, Cam Newton could add the rush. He can add the rush. He can throw to people kind of when they have it. I don't know where I was going with that one. He can kind of throw. He's not the best. Maybe if he has better receivers, like Terry McLaurin can make him look really good considering he only targeted Julian Edelman when he was playing. But yeah, I mean Cam Newton, it's so hard to tell with him really. I really don't see him going anywhere. He might have to take a year off and maybe retire, be done cuz like I really don't see him going anywhere. Yeah.
So New England has the 15th overall pick. Now, by that point, you've already missed out on a few of the top quarterback prospects, assuming that they don't trade up. Do you take a project, like a project that's probably projected second round, or maybe even third round, because teams like, reach? Or do you say, okay, let's get a position player that we can use and then pray that Stidham or someone else works out?
Well, I think the Patriots are really good at falling out of the first round.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they're good at picking players in the second round. As we were talking before this started about the whatever his name was. I already forgot because I have a memory of a goldfish and I deleted the tab. Of course I did. But when they drafted a Division II in the second Division II player in the second round. Kyle Duggar, that was his name. They drafted him in the second round. No one has heard anything about him, so there's not really much to talk about with their drafting style besides their last one being Tom Brady, as I think Jacob mentioned for Hall of Fame wise. But if I'm the Patriots, I'm getting out of the first round and maybe picking a high second round QB for someone. Some hopes of getting someone at least.
Richie and Jacob, what do you think?
Jacob, you got it?
Jacob raised his hand.
Yeah.
Jacob raised his hand.
Get the talk. Cam Newton sucks. Period. He's not going anywhere. He might get re-signed for 1 year as a backup guy, but he's not playing again. Great job. You made a dance. Good for you. You can go home now. You were never really that good to begin with. Great job. You can run the ball. Wow. So could any person, that's got two legs on the football field. So, you don't really have that good of a talent, and you really never were that good, You peaked in college, and then in the NFL, you were kind of a bust in my opinion. So it's okay. I don't see you as being a factor anymore. Sorry.
Directly to Cam. Saying
Yeah.
you as a factor anymore.
Go ahead. You're not. I mean,
Come at us, Cam.
frankly, I don't know where you get off. You're not that great to begin with. A rookie came in, Justin Herbert, and he blew up the league with, one wide receiver and a running back that was hurt half the year, and then you come in the league, you've been in the league for a long time. You have experience, what, you have a good idea of what to do. You have a Hall of Fame coach, and you stunk. I don't know what more you can do to suck more. The worst thing you could possibly do is probably go to the Jaguars. Yeah, you could probably go to the Jaguars, and from there you can probably just retire because that's where players go to die. You got nothing. Daniel Jones got more than you. And Daniel Jones fumbled the ball more than he probably had completions. And that's pathetic. So, consider this my rant. Cam Newton, you suck, dude. I'm sorry. You may be 6'4" and 200 and something pounds and run a 4.5 40 or whatever, but you know what? Paper doesn't really get you that far. You actually got to show something, and all you really showed was your dancing skills and the touchdowns you scored that were double digits, maybe on the including passing and rushing. So you're not that great, my guy. Sorry. Go retire. and get out of the league. You're just gonna disappoint another fan base. It's okay. It's fine.
Dan, would
You're
you
welcome.
like to combat Jacob's Chargers only have one?
Yeah, that was
Talent.
horrid.
Dan had the dirtiest face. I saw him.
I think Mike Williams, first of all, is better than any receiver that Cam's been dealing with. And then Keenan Allen is like 3 levels above any of them. And then Hunter Henry's like 6 levels above any tight end that the Patriots have. Like, I think the Chargers offense has a bunch of weapons compared to what Cam's dealing with. I think, like, I think the exact opposite. I think Cam, like, if you put Patrick Mahomes on the Patriots with what they were throwing to, I don't think he gives anything more than 8 and 8. Like, they legitimately had nobody to throw to. Richie, what
Tom
do you
Brady
think?
did it,
Barely. Last year, that defense is the only reason they made it anywhere.
but he did it.
That's true. I think there was a stat like the first 8 games.
Yeah.
Just with the defense, they would go like
Yep.
4-4.
Yeah, it was the first 3 games they were 3-3-1. If it was only
Oh.
defensive scoring, that's insane.
Yeah.
Tom Brady made nobodies look like Hall of Famers. Cam Newton can't do that.
That is
And-
true. That is true.
And
I'll give you
as
that.
for the Chargers, I'm not a huge fan of Mike Williams because he got hurt multiple times, so I don't know how reliable he actually is. Keenan Allen toward the end of the year or end of the season wasn't that reliable either, but he has proven himself to be a solid wide receiver in the league. Don't get me wrong, like definitely top tier. But and then Hunter Henry, same thing. But I haven't followed Hunter Henry that much. I just know he's a pretty good tight end. But
Pisses me off.
I'm not.
Can you guys
not
name the starting Patriots tight end right now?
who is?
No.
Well, like,
Exactly.
is it Ryan Izzo or is it somebody else?
Yes, and he's like a blocker.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so they don't have a tight end.
Yeah. I just think it sucks when the defense knows you pretty much have to run every play. Like, they're just stacking the box and expecting, like, Jacoby Myers, who, like, before this year was, like, absolutely nothing, to just beat a whole defense, you know? I don't know. I just think it's pretty tough. And, like, Damiere Byrd, who was, like, a 4th stringer on the Panthers 2 years ago and then went to the Cardinals and didn't even play. Like, I don't know. There's some real scrubs on that team.
I will.
Well, I'll have you guys. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
You
no.
go first, Rich.
Okay, I'll make it quick. I think Cam Newton is definitely regressing. I don't think he's as good as he used to be because his whole game is running. I do think he's not as bad as the Patriots have made him to look. I do think though if Patriots can get a top tier wide receiver or 2, or just 2 offensive weapons, and then maybe trade for a Carson Wentz or trade for a Sam Darnold, I think that would be pretty good for them and things to be looking up. Especially because they're going to get a bunch of players back that they lost to COVID. AJ, you go.
Guys, I'll have you know, the Patriots won 45-0 against the Chargers. I'll leave it at that. All right.
right. So, yeah,
Continue on,
Jacob
Dan.
now. Jacob, we have 1 through 6, and you can't pick 5 or 3.
2.
2. So, this is my, like, bonus kind of question.
Oh,
If you could add one random non-QB to your Giants team, you can pick any player in the NFL, doesn't matter, it just can't be a QB. Who would you pick?
Okay. Let me think. The secondary's okay for now. The linebackers are pretty good. Stole it from the Packers, so can't get my guess. Let me think.
You can think about it like future-wise too, like next 10 years or whoever's just the best now. Like,
For some reason, I kind of want Nelson from the Colts. I don't know why. He's not that big of an impact player, as in like the flair, but you put a good guy on the line, you can just run behind him all day. You got to give Barkley something to work with. So it would either be Nelson from the Colts, or anyone at all. That's kind of like so open. Such an odd question. Like,
Anyway.
I'm thinking either Nelson from the Colts, and then I'd probably get an edge guy. Maybe like Khalil Mack off the side. Something like that.
Mhm.
But our linebackers are pretty good. I don't want to. don't want to disrupt their fame. They're doing pretty good. So, I'd go Nelson.
Okay. AJ, let's go with you next because I think I know Richie's already. I almost debatably didn't want. I was gonna say no QBs or this guy, but AJ, you go.
Well, I have two in mind, and you said it could be anyone in the league right now.
Yeah, anyone at all.
Except a quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah, except the quarterback.
Except the
They
quarterback.
they just plop on your team for
I mean,
however long until they retire.
I don't know why you would
Yeah.
want a quarterback, but
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want a quarterback. Don't worry. I mean, my position should be goddamn obvious if it wasn't already. So I got two guys in mind. One of them is going to be Tyreek Hill because he's basically a better version of MVS.
I like
Fast. He's an insane deep threat, and yeah, he could be a very solid threat with Devontae Adams. And my second one is going to be DeAndre Hopkins because another monster wide receiver. He's 28 years old, so he's still got a couple solid years in him, and he's not being used by the Cardinals, so we could use him. I mean, we'll gladly use him. That's for sure. Go back on my rant of Cardinals or not using him enough.
I love that Tyreek pick. I think, putting my own input here, I think Tyreek could be disgusting on the Packers with Devontae.
Yeah,
like
facts.
that would be so OP.
100%.
Tell us who I think you're gonna tell us.
Well, no, so I can't say Devontae.
Oh, you can say Devontae if you want.
Okay. Well,
He's a wide receiver, Richie.
Well, I know, but was that the player you said I couldn't pick?
No.
Okay, well, Devontae Adams is my number one because the Giants do not have a wide receiver that creates constant separation. And who's the best at that? Devontae Adams. Oh my God, would I nut if we got Devontae Adams? And then this, I mean, he wouldn't be used as well, obviously, with Jones. But and then the second one, just picking a different position, I would agree with Jacob. I would go with Edge, and I would pick T.J. Watt because he's playing out of his mind right now.
oh, that's another one. That's another good effort. I forgot.
Wait,
about
Dan, who did you think he was saying then?
I thought Richie was gonna say Aaron Donald. I really did. Like, because he's such
That
a
was
boner for Aaron
another-
Donald.
No,
Like,
because we can kind of make it work with who we already have as our defensive tackles.
Okay.
Like they're not even as close to as good, but like we can make it work. We need an edge rusher who can clean up their interior pressure, or we need someone who can create separation and is also a number one receiver.
Yeah.
Can I go back on mine as a different option for another position?
Mhm.
Who's that? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank at his name. He's the guy I wanted in the preseason. He went to the Raiders. What's his name?
What
Linebacker.
Littleton.
Yeah, Corey Littleton.
At any NFL, you're picking Corey Littleton.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you, AJ. I think Kirksey's actually been playing better than Littleton has. I think you guys actually
Well, when
made
he's
the right
healthy,
choice.
I think so. Yeah.
Let's just get Bobby Wagner or like Levante David or Devin White.
Yeah.
They're gonna like die off in a year or two.
You think that really?
Well, Bobby Wagner is bound to, right?
Well, Devin White is like a year into the league, or like Roquan Smith.
Yeah,
or
no,
something.
Devin White, no. Bobby Wagner, I was thinking more.
Yeah. Okay, I'm really surprised because I thought when you said AJ like positionally, I thought you were gonna say DT because we suck so bad at run defense. So I thought it was gonna be Aaron Donald, but
I couldn't think of a DT like out of my mind. I was just thinking of wide
Yeah.
receivers because that's like the only threat that I think we needed at the moment.
Yeah, if we had
Besides,
Tyreek, we'd be
obviously.
like the best offense of all time. Like. that'd be
Oh,
ins-
100%.
All right, so Jacob, do you have one for me?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's really no number to pick. I didn't really think of that many guys. I'm just kind of.
Well, you got 3 guys, bro.
But you got three numbers. Any 3 numbers you want to pick from what span? Let's go 4 to 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
I'll go with 4.
Oh, I was gonna give you okay. So 4.
I'm not supposed to know who they are, so.
Yeah, you don't know the options.
I was gonna tell you like some of the options to pick from. That's fine.
Oh.
You said 4, 5, and 6.
4 was a question. So.
Okay. Tell me that, and tell me that.
Oh, okay. Spin it up a bit.
So there's a question, which is number 4.
Okay.
There's a player, which is number 5, and then number 6 is a coach.
You know, he still was. I mean, he still wasn't supposed to know that, but like he
But
picked
it's okay.
4 anyway. So
Fine. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you number 4 because you picked number 4.
Okay.
So here's the question. So the question pertains to overrated. Is Stephon Gilmore overrated?
Huh. Yeah. Man, that is. Yeah, I guess yes.
yeah, any day now.
Yeah. Okay. I had to really think about it because like he is a beast, obviously. Now he's injured, but he's a beast. But I think the sheer amount of people that they lost in that defense, like he couldn't be the same player he was last year. I think he is still really good, but I think like everyone's saying like he's the best defensive player in the league when there's still Aaron Donald, T.J. Watt, and other people like. I still thought Tre'Davious White was the best corner, even with his 2-year ago performance from Stephon Gilmore. So yeah, I think he is overrated.
Well, that was my second question. Do you think he's still the best in the league? So you already answered that one. So. But yeah, that was kind of it. So
Okay.
Open to the floor.
I agree with Dan, 100%.
Yeah, I'm on that boat too. I mean, he was good last year. He's not going to be at that level again, as he's shown.
So
I mean, hold on before I move on from that. That could be like the situation of Ezekiel Elliott with Dak Prescott, because Gilmore loses his Hall of Fame quarterback, which really dampers the whole team. And with Ezekiel Elliott, Dak going down really messed up Zeke to the point where he hasn't done anything for that team since that happened. So like it could be like that, but
once the Patriots defense lost like Kyle Van Noy and like he was the captain and the best linebacker they had, and they lost a bunch of other people too to COVID. So it's just kind of like that kind of went downhill.
So at the end of the day,
yeah.
we see that cornerbacks are not that great in the game, and that if they are good one year, there's a damn good chance that they're not going to repeat.
Yeah.
That was the conclusion I was waiting for.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it just shows that football is such a complementary game, and that no one player can really make like a crazy big impact because it all depends on other people. So.
Very true.
It seems like right now the only corner that I have to. Well, I guess it's a little unfair because the Rams defense is so disgusting all around. But I feel like Jalen Ramsey, you could probably put him anywhere, and I think he can cover anybody. Like, I think besides maybe Tyreek or Devontae, I think like he's probably the best overall like one-on-one cover corner.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
All right. So what did we have next? We had NFL topics, correct?
Yes, you wanted to bring up something unless it was already brought up.
Shockingly enough, it was not already brought up. So I can talk about it. So my conversation that I wanted to ask you guys. Do you think Deshaun Watson should stay on the Texans?
I just have to say that was one of my numbers on here.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, exactly.
All
right, so
give it to Jacob.
Who would like to
Jacob.
start off?
Jacob.
Yeah. No, he shouldn't. The Texans GM is a piece of junk. And plus, like, you traded away Hopkins. I don't know what more, how much more of a piece of junk you can get. But, yeah, no, he should leave. He gave his time there. He's proven himself time and time again that he is worthy of a different system and that he can prove himself in that system. And I think he'll be really good, really on any decent team you put him with. So, for instance, if the Giants took him, I think he could do pretty well his first year in, but his second year, I think he might explode. You put him with the Cowboys, you replace Dak with him. The guy's going to be all world. Sadly, I'm saying the Cowboys are going to be, really good with Watson, but I think you can. I think if they if they trade him or he just goes somewhere else, he's going to be pretty good. He should leave, though. The Texans are not proving themselves to be very good, and I don't want to see another quarterback talent squandered. Like, really almost any quarterback you can think of that was good. But, so I don't. He should go somewhere else. If he wants a good career and he wants to go down in the history books, he should go somewhere else because he could be there. I think he could. Not as top 3, top 15, but he needs to go somewhere else. Plus, he can get more money other places. So, contract.
Richie, you want to go or me?
I'll just be quick. I guess no one really knows how broken their relationship is, but I think the Texans need to do whatever they can to keep him, because not a lot of quarterbacks can do what Watson can do. And I think if the Texans ownership can promise to him that they can do, or they will do whatever they can to make his life easier and to be able to win games, I would stay. But if they continue to show the type of dysfunction that they have been, I think they got to trade him. And they started by getting rid of Bill O'Brien, which was a good start, but they brought in another Patriots GM, and because Bill O'Brien came from the Patriots, so already not looking good. So if I was Watson, I would stick with them, but I would be very, very willing to pull the trigger for a trade.
I think that Watson is top 3 right now, quarterback, with Mahomes, Rodgers, and tied with Wilson at 3rd. I really thought that their offense would take such a downhill turn when Fuller left. I can't believe that he's been throwing for near 400-yard games with Kiki Kuti, Brandon Cooks, some double random tight ends. David Johnson got 100 yards in a game. Like, he's just making it work with anybody at this point. And I think he's really special. I think Houston needs to keep him. There's no way they can trade him. But for his sake, I want him to be traded. And if I had to say that easily the best team to go to is San Fran. They would be fucking amazing if they had him. Chicago as well, but San Fran would just be... Imagine having Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle pass to, and then just being the best run team in the NFL. Like, with a sick defense once their players come back. They lost Nick Bosa and whoever else. So, yeah, that would be my take.
That's a scary team to think about. Not even going to lie.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of it from Deshaun Watson's point of view, and I forget where I saw this, but if you talk about quarterbacks right now, Patrick Mahomes, I'm talking about quarterbacks that are under 30 or so. So we're talking about Patrick Mahomes is in his own league at the moment, and then Deshaun Watson is the next guy. So you need to keep him if you're Houston. But as Richie said, he should be one snap and he's gone. If someone offers a deal, depending on what it is, I would be taking that and I'd be hitting the road, because J.J. Watt is going to be hitting the road, I think. So you're losing another star player on that team. So it's not looking good for Houston. It looks like they're about to be rebuilding at this rate, because this is not good for them. Deshaun Watson needs to get out of there. I love the man. He needs to get out of there for his sake and for just his sake.
It's gonna be a hell of a lot to get him, though. It's gonna be, I think Houston
absolutely.
already said at least 3 first-round draft picks.
Really?
Which makes sense.
Well, Bill O'Brien traded away their next 3 first-round draft picks, so they need to do something to get them back. But that was my main topic that I wanted to cover with Deshaun Watson. So I don't know if you guys have any other NFL questions that you guys want to cover really quick before we move on. No. But that was my real main one. All right. Then, moving on. We said the All-Pro team has come out. The first and the second All-Pro teams have come out. And we were going to talk about what we think of it and such like that. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to go like talk about the first team, any like big standouts or any misses? How do we want to do this?
You can just go if you go down the list of the positions, and if you see someone that maybe you don't agree with, you can talk about it. So we'll just start at quarterback. Everyone good with Rodgers?
Yep.
For first team, yeah, definitely. Jacob?
Oh yeah, yeah. Running back D Hember, Derrick Henry.
Yep, that's pretty accurate.
Tight end Travis Kelce, obviously.
Yep.
Yep.
Receivers Adams, Diggs, and Hill.
Yep.
This could be the first one. Maybe it's not as clear.
I think that's the best three.
I mean, I think that's a solid 3 for sure. Devontae, standout. Stephon Diggs, he got like number 1 in like receiving a lot of things. And then Tyreek is Tyreek Hill. So I'm pretty fine with that.
Okay. So you guys don't think like a Hopkins over Hill? You guys are
No way.
No, Hopkins, yeah, no. He didn't do as good as I wanted him to do this year. It's because he's on the Cardinals.
We know how AJ feels about those Cardinals. Does anyone know anything about the offensive line that they could make a point about?
Well, David Bakhtiari is the best left tackle in the game. We all know that. Jack Conklin, he's really good. Yeah. Quentin Nelson, I don't have much on him. I really don't have much on the right guard. I don't know if you guys do. But I got nothing on the O-line. I think they're all solid. Biasly, yeah, I think they're pretty solid. Biasly, I'm pretty happy.
All right, so then we'll go over to defense. Edge rushers, T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett. I like them both.
Solid.
Yep. Interior linemen, I'm so glad they did this. Aaron Donald and DeForest Buckner finally getting the love that he deserves over whoever the hell that they said was better than him. Calais Campbell in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be the first one where I don't know if you guys don't agree. I definitely know. So Fred Warner, Bobby Wagner, and Darius Leonard.
No.
All right, so
Bobby Wagner should not be on that list.
Then who is your replacement?
You can't put me on the spot like this. I didn't think about this. Come back to me.
Okay.
Let me think about this.
I say Levante David for the same reasons what I said in the Pro Bowl. Better stats, plays on a better defense, and I guess that could hurt him in the sense, but I do think that for whatever reason, David's always been slept on.
Yeah, he's been a beast his whole career.
Yeah, so I think name value shouldn't give you the selection. So I think David should be over Wagner.
I agree.
I thought the same.
Yeah, that might be the all-around pick for all of us.
Cornerbacks, Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey.
So I guess I'll go first on this. I think that since they are doing this tie thing, like Mahomes and Josh Allen got a tie on the second team, I think that
Spoilers.
Fucking what? No, I think sorry. I think Jair Alexander needs to be in a tie with one of them because he was the highest graded corner for the entire year. So, and like when Calvin Ridley plays, he didn't even get a catch. So.
Yeah, that was pretty. You can't really argue with that. I feel like the only reason Xavier Howard is really good, but I feel like his big reason is because he got the most interceptions this year.
Yeah.
Jacob, any thoughts?
I'm with you guys for those.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with the two that they picked, just because like they talked about Jaheir next. I will have a bone to pick with the cornerbacks though. Safeties, we got Tyrann Mathieu, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Budda Baker, who tied with Minkah.
I don't know how. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how Minkah and Budda tied.
Because football people don't know what they're talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, Budda Baker.
I think it should have just been Matthew and Fitzpatrick.
For sure. Like, that's stupid that they have Budda there.
Jacob, any thoughts?
Not for those guys.
I think the chase down should have been enough for that one. Him getting chased down. by DK.
I'll give it to him. Buddha has been playing phenomenally over the past few years, and I do think he is deserving of maybe the second one.
Yeah, the second team I can agree with you there.
Maybe not so much the first one. I'm trying to look to see. So Jamal Adams broke the sack record for safeties this year, and he's not. Is he on the next one? Well, he's not on the first team.
Yeah, he's on the second team.
I don't know if you guys maybe had a thought about him. I think it was deserving that he didn't make it, but shout out to him for breaking it, the record.
Yeah, but what are we talking about again? We're talking about safeties, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
A safety's main thing to do, or his main job, is to cover people and stop the run, not to blitz. So don't get me wrong, he's a great player, and you make big plays, but you need to do your job first in order to be recognized for first team. Second team is just where all the playmakers are, to where all the really good people are, but may not be great the whole entire time. That's where he should be placed, in my opinion. So first team, I don't see Adams as being worthy just yet. You let him cover a couple guys, you let him play the fundamentals correctly first, plus the sacks. The guy's first team, but not right now.
9.5 sacks in 12 games is pretty impressive, though.
100%.
That is true.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So special teams, we got place kicker Jason Sanders. I actually disagree. I think I know he played really well. He made a lot of field goals, but I think Young Ho Koo should have been considered for this. Justin Tucker made second team. He's always a very solid option to pick. Maybe I'm more biased. What? Maybe I'm more biased with the NFC kickers, but I don't think Sanders actually should have made the list.
I think Graham Cano should be there. I'm just saying, I'm kidding, and I'm not that much of a giant idiot.
No pun intended.
I could agree with that one too, though. He was phenomenal. If Young Ho Koo and I guess it was probably Myers, if they didn't play so well, Graham Gano would have a spot in the Pro Bowl or something like that. But
wait a minute, so Young Ho Koo didn't even make second team?
Nope.
The fuck is this shit? Okay, yeah, that's fucked. Okay. Rest of it honestly doesn't matter.
Yeah. Aegis boy Cordero Patterson got first team kick returner.
Yeah, wait, I was gonna say kick returner, my boy Cordero Patterson, star.
All right. So go to quarterback.
Yeah, other than that, it doesn't matter.
Cool. So second team offense quarterback Josh Allen and Mahomes tie. I agree with this one.
Same.
They're both
like
amazing.
Stupid tie rule.
Running back Alvin Kamara. Wrong year. We talked about it a little before. Dan, give your opinion because I don't want to just steal it.
Yeah, so it should be Dalvin Cook, but if they're doing this tie crap, the end of the year stats, yes, they're very similar. Dalvin Cook had, I think, 200 more yards, but if you just take away that, I mean, you can't take it away, but it was a 6-touchdown game against a team that had literally just completely given up for Alvin Kamara. So I do think Cook deserves it, but at least give it a tie for Cook. You can't just leave him out when he was the most consistent running back all year.
I was just gonna ask where Cook was, so I could see that. I like Dan's idea.
James Robinson is probably on the third team.
All right, and then this is the weirdest one of all. Don't think in our lives we've ever seen this. They left second team tight end vacant.
Garbage!
Which was a complete disgrace to Waller and or Tanyan because both tight ends played exceptionally well this year. And
wait, where's
who you lagged? Sorry.
Yeah, you lagged really hard.
Where's Henry?
He's garbage. He's garbage. Hunter Henry's garbage.
Whatever you say.
I'm very angry. Sorry.
Okay.
I just don't get how they can just leave it vacant. Just get another guy just to vote on.
I want to hear
somebody.
your guys' opinions. Who would you put there? Is it Waller or Tanyan? Because for me, it's like
Tanyan.
easily miles away Waller.
Oh well, yeah, Waller, although not like completely comparable to Kelsey, like kind of kept pace with him. Like he was behind him, but like easily second best, and then Tanyan would be the third.
He was 4 yards off of 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. That's
that's pretty good.
All right.
Wide receivers.
Just off AJ, I'm just gonna say TJ Hawkinson just to be a
Or Evan Ingram.
I was gonna say Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that big. I'm kidding. I would put Waller there before Tanyan.
Yeah, Waller. Yeah, no, definitely.
We got wide receivers: Hopkins, Jefferson, Ridley, and Metcalf, and Cole Beasley tie for that fourth
This
spot.
this is a disgrace. This is a disgrace.
That one's pretty bad. Who wants to start?
That's questionable.
It's very much being elevated by your quarterback, and yeah, he had a good season, but he didn't eclipse 100 yards, or 1,000 yards, didn't eclipse 100 catches, didn't even eclipse 5 touchdowns. Maybe he had a passing one in there. I forget, because they used a lot of trickery, but
He did have a passing touchdown. I know that for sure.
he did. Okay, if you just compare Metcalf and Beasley,
Not even close.
it's just laughable.
Sorry.
I think the snubs that could be filled in for that position are Mike Evans having 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, A.J.
That's
Brown
right.
having almost 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns, Adam Thielen having I think it was 920 yards and 14 touchdowns. So those guys easily blow him out of the water.
Did you say AJ Brown? I'm sorry.
Yeah. He got 1,100 yards and 11 TDs.
Yep. AJ, any thoughts?
See, the thing is, I'm not a fan of Cole Beasley. Obviously, I mean Hopkins did well in the receiving game, didn't get enough touchdowns, but I don't know who I would really replace him with, because I'm looking at a list right now. I'm looking at a list of like the top wide receivers and or receiving wise this year, and there's not really a lot I can add on, because I wouldn't add on Allen Robinson, that's for sure. DJ Moore didn't really play that well. So, I'm not really sure. I'm adding in my sleeper, Robbie Anderson. No, I'm talking about Cole Beasley.
Okay.
Robbie
Actually,
Anderson should be in it.
I forgot about Allen Robinson. 1,250 yards, 6 touchdowns is not terrible.
Yeah. The touchdowns kind of lowers it.
I think A.J. Brown in 14 games having 1,111. I think he should have got it.
That's insane. That's just marvelous.
It's because they just look at that team, they see Derrick Henry, and they're like, okay, yep, the rest are irrelevant. Offensive line, I don't know if you guys know too much about these guys again. Garrett Bowles, Ryan Ramczyk, Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, Ryan Kelly, and Frank Ragnow.
Why is there two
About right.
center backs and they didn't tie? Why is there two centers and they didn't tie? I said center backs. I got soccer on the mind, guys. Sorry.
Whatever. Fuck O-line.
I will say congrats to Cleveland for getting 3 offensive linemen in the All-Pro voting. It's pretty good.
That's true. Yeah.
Going to edge rushers now, we have Khalil Mack and Zadarius Smith. Guys, where's Chase Young? I thought he was amazing. I thought he was like
All right.
the next Aaron Donald. What happened?
These guys. All right. He's like our age. He's on YouTube all the time. Probably just like relax. He's gonna come after us.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I think Hendrickson is over Klomack.
Oh my god, the most slept on guy in the entire league. Poor Henderson or Hendrickson.
I don't have an opinion on this. I'm pretty happy with it because I like both these players.
I do want to ask though, Zadarius Smith. Obviously, did he play as well as he did last year? I know Preston Smith dropped off. No, he didn't. Okay. Do you think he's deserving?
He did have. He still had quite a bit of sacks. I think he had like 10 sacks this year.
Dude,
12 and a half. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Better.
Khalil Mack had 9 sacks and only 13 QB hits. Like Hendrickson he was over 20 in the QB hits, like 25, and he had like 12 and a half sacks. Like this isn't. Why are they so freaking biased for names, man?
It's probably a bunch of old guys who don't actually want to look up how the new guys are doing.
And that's in 16 games, by the way, for Mac. Like that's not good for him.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Jacob, any thoughts?
No.
All right. So, well, I mean, Jacob's a defensive guy. I mean, I know he.
Stout. Get the line. I might have something.
Okay, gotcha. So interior lineman, we got Chris Jones and Cameron Hayward. I mean, I think again that was name value. I don't think Hayward had a phenomenal year, but
I know Tuitt had a good year. Was Hayward better than him?
Well, in terms of sacks, Tuitt had more.
Tuitt had 11. Yeah.
Yeah, Tuitt had more.
bunch of QB hits too. That looks like over 25-ish.
Yeah. So again, I would say they probably picked that name value. I'm gonna, as a homer, I would say Leonard Williams should probably get a little bit of consideration for that. But,
That's who I was thinking.
Oh, Ndamukong Suh as well.
and
That's another
yeah.
one that I.
So it seems like we're all kind of in agreement. AJ, what is going on in your brain?
And Ndamukong Suh had a great year. That's really all I can add on to that. I'm shocked he's been snubbed so much this year. I really don't like him, but he has had a great year.
Dude, he just goes to like any team for 1 year and just rapes and then moves on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
And then we got inside backers. Devin White, Demario Davis, Levante David tied with Roquan Smith. I think there should be some of these guys switched with the guys up top, but as far as this list goes, I'm pretty content.
Yeah, I'm pretty content with it.
Yeah. Because I would say, like... What do you think, Jacob?
I think they're. I don't like the tie rule. That's
Me
why.
neither.
Yeah, it's just based off voting. That's all it is, pretty much. But
That I'm on edge with it. That's it. I just don't like the tie thing. Because like two guys tied for the same. That's just stupid. It's either one or the other. You pick. No. But I would like to see Fackrell or Martinez in there though. They kind of blew up our defense.
yeah, I could see what you're saying with that. They both played well compared to the people around them, but if you compare them to the whole league, unfortunately, I think Martinez is a better shot at comparing, only with his tackles, but other than that, it really doesn't.
That's the one that I was really thinking was going to do something. Because the guy, like, he was up there in, like, tackles per game and tackles for the season, too, for linebackers. So I was kind of really thinking that he would get considered at least. But, yeah, well.
Yeah, so Martinez was third with 151 tackles on the year, but it's not just tackles; it's everything else. Because Zach Cunningham of the Texans had 164 total tackles, making him the leader, and he didn't get any consideration. So it's based. Martinez played very well considering Giants haven't a good linebacker, inside backer, but yeah,
No,
we'll
gotta have everything.
Yeah. Cornerbacks, we have Jaheir Alexander and Tre'Davious White, and I'll go first. I don't think White was deserving. As a biased Giants fan, I do think that it should have went to James Bradbury, who only got a singular All-Pro vote. Again, it's name value.
James Bradbury played well.
He's been a beast. Like, honestly, he's been in the league for like 4 or 5 years. Like, the whole time, he's just been this fucking beast.
And again, I think it was name value. Not to put down Tre'Davious White, but the only way
Okay.
Oh, sorry. The only way I'm comparing them is how they do against DK Metcalf. And Metcalf didn't have a touchdown. It was under 100 yards with Bradbury. Had 107 yards with White and a touchdown. Obviously, there's more to that than comparing them against one player. But again, this was name value, and White got it.
Mean pass defense. That's impressive.
Yeah,
it's really good actually.
Anything else, AJ?
Well, I agree with you in James Bradbury wise. I thought he had a phenomenal year watching the Giants play. When he went down for what was it, 1 or 2 games?
Yeah, with COVID against the Browns.
Yeah, the defense. He was severely missed in that game. We'll say. So, and then Jair, biased in me, says he's great, but the stats also say that he's phenomenal. So.
All right, so we'll go to safeties now. We got Jamal Adams and Jesse Bates. I actually, considering everything, I think that's actually pretty good. Quandre Diggs played pretty well this year for Seattle.
That's fine.
But I think Bates, another one, was one that was slept on, at least for the Pro Bowl, and I'm glad he got some recognition here.
I'm already, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty solid.
Definitely not Quandre Diggs. Just that Seattle defense, you can't make up for the beginning of the year. That was atrocious.
Jacob, any thoughts?
I'd like to see Peppers. He might be on third team.
Peppers.
I'm not kidding. The guy, he came up and he made big plays. He got a couple sacks. He made some damn good coverages. Well, all Adams did was get sacks. That's not an all-around guy. That's a guy that just knows how to blitz and that knows how to, read the defense. That's great. It does come in handy. Don't get me wrong. He came in clutch a lot. But Peppers played all around. The guy had open field tackles. The guy had very good pass coverages. He was an all-around player, while Adams was very singular.
No, yeah, you're right. He actually did have some good stats.
I do see Peppers being a bit better than Adams. The other one, I'll give it to him. I don't really know him that well, but if the experts say it's where it's at and you guys say he's where it's at, then you know what? I'll take it. But I see Peppers being in there more than Adams. But that's a little bit of a personal opinion, but I don't know.
I'll actually butt heads with you a little bit. I think Peppers plays similarly to how Seattle's defense played this year. Peppers was borderline god awful the first few weeks, maybe like first half of the season, and then he really started turning it on once they played the Bucks, which is about like halfway through the year. So, trying to be unbiased as possible, despite the fact that I really wish Bradbury made it. So, I don't think Peppers was deserving this year, but maybe next year if he just gets like 100 tackles by himself, 10 picks, 20 pass defense, we'll see. With that being said, we'll just do kicker. Justin Tucker was the place kicker for the second team.
Nope, should have been the Colts, dude.
Blankenship.
Oh, actually, yeah, it should have been Young Wei Kun Blankenship.
Blankenship, yeah.
I think the problem was Blankenship missed. I think it was either week 16 or week 17 missed like a field goal or two. That probably killed him right at the end. And like I said before, Tucker's all around like.
Yeah, but the guy's
amazing.
a G. Look at him.
He's pretty sexy.
Give him first team. God.
And if we're going name value, he's face value. So you know what? Put him in.
And just want to point out real quick, special teams long snapper Luke Rhodes, pretty close to Lana Rhodes. All right. With that being said, though, that's
Who's Lana Rose?
I was gonna say Luke Rhodes. Absolutely not. I think John Weeks should be the long snapper.
Who?
Yeah.
Is that the Packers guy?
No, he's not. He's the Texans guy.
Oh, okay.
Was that only because the Texans were like punting a lot?
Good. They were punting a lot. Yeah.
Not as much as the Jets.
He snapped the ball a lot.
All right. With that being said, we're about an hour and 30 here. Do you guys still want to talk about each playoff team, or cut that out?
Predictions.
Yeah, just go predictions.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just go predictions. All right, and the moment we've always been waiting for, we are now into the. Oh wait, before I gotta talk about one more thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Richie knows the topic I'm gonna bring up now, guys. This is Dan and Jacob. Let's all seriousness for a second. So, it's called Super Wild Card Weekend, right?
At least for this year, yeah. They're calling this Super Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah.
Because of 7 teams per division or conference.
So is it going to be called Super Wild Card Weekend every year now? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the question.
This one, I don't.
That's my question. Yeah. You think it's going to be some big question? Of course, it's a big question.
I don't give a shit. It's a game.
No, this guy. But you're basically telling me that it's going to be Super Wild Card Weekend. So that means there's going to be 6 playoff teams next year because that's Wild Card Weekend regular. And this year, it's Super Wild Card Weekend. That doesn't make any sense.
So, what do you want me to say?
Unless the super means you're adding another playoff team every year. Invalid. It should be just Wild Card Weekend.
There it is.
So, yes, it's horrible.
All right. Glad we agree. Now, moving on to Wild Card Weekend. We got our first game on Saturday at whatever time. It is Indianapolis Colts taking on the Buffalo Bills. And this game is for Jacob first. What is your prediction?
What was it again? Sorry, I was actually looking at it. Sorry.
course you would. Indianapolis Colts taking on the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills, sadly. I kind of want to see the Colts do well, though. The Bills are going to win 36-27.
Yeah, this game.
All right.
There's a lot of good games this weekend, in my opinion, but mainly only AFC side. I'm gonna take the Bills here, 31-29. But I could see Indy scoring less.
Dan?
I'm gonna go with Bills, 35-28.
We're all taking Bills here. I'm taking them to 36-23. So almost Jacob's score, but just the under on Indy. Next up, we have the LA Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks, and this one is for Richie.
With Goff's questionable hand issue, I will take Seattle here. I think they're going to win 27-13.
All right, Dan?
I'm taking Seattle here. I'm gonna say 26-17.
6-17. I'm taking the Rams here. I just like their defense a lot, so I'm going to take them. And considering it's a divisional opponent, I'm taking them 16-13. And Jacob.
So I'm giving 2.
Okay.
If Goff doesn't play, and who's the other one? What was it, Cooper Kupp? Was that the guy?
He's playing. He's playing.
He is playing, yeah. We got that confirmed.
If Goff doesn't play, Seahawks are going to win. I think they're going to win 20-14. And then if Goff does play, I think the Rams are going to win. And then I'd put the Rams at somewhere around 27-20.
All right. And the final game on Saturday night of this Super Wildcard weekend, the best game of the weekend, Tampa Bay taking on Washington. This is for Dan.
I hate this one.
Tampa Bay slaps them around, 34-17.
Washington wins this game. Tom Brady is going to cry in the playoffs, and he's going to do his whatever he did in the Super Bowl against the Giants, where he sat at midfield and he pouted. He's got the Washington wins 24-23. Jacob,
You got to come back to me with this one.
all right, Richie.
I agree with Dan. Bucks take this one. However, I think Washington's defense will keep them in the game for a little bit. I'll say Bucks 28 to Washington's 14.
Wait, what?
All right.
I think the defense for the Washington will keep them in the game for a little bit, for maybe the first 2 or 3 quarters. But I think ultimately Bucks will take it. I think it'll be like 21-14. Within distance, and then Bucks will score a late game touchdown, making it 20.
You're making it sound like you're about to give a 3-point spread and then you give a 14-point spread.
Oh yeah, no.
All right, Jacob.
I want to see the underdog win. I want to see the Redskins win.
It's Washington. Stop canceling us.
Yeah, whatever. Get a better name, and then I'll call you the real name. You know what? I'm going the Washington football team. I'm going with them, and I'm going to say they're going to win 17-14.
Damn it! It couldn't have let me get the bold prediction. All right, fine.
Yeah, but they're going to win by a field goal in the last 3 seconds of the game.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tennessee Titans. Whoa. I'm taking Baltimore here because they're on a hot streak. 27-20 for the Baltimore Ravens. Jacob.
I think the Titans are going to take it. Yeah, I think the Titans are going to take it. But it's going to be high scoring because neither defense is really that great. Hmm. 37-30 Titans.
All right. Richie?
Mark this down. This will be the game of the weekend. I'm still not even sure who's gonna win this because I think it's gonna be such a good game. Ravens defense has been playing better as of late, but they have put up or been playing against some shitter teams: Bengals, Giants, Jaguars. The last time they played a team with a winning record, they let up 42 points to the Cleveland Browns. Every time I pick against Tennessee, they burn me. So I will say the Tennessee Titans take this game, 38-35.
Making me have to think here. I wanted to go Tennessee, but I don't want to be a 3-step Tennessee because Ravens have a good shot here.
If you want, I can change. I'm
That's all right. I'll go with Baltimore, I guess. Fuck it. I don't even. I go with Baltimore. Nah. Wait, what was your score, Richie?
38-35.
Oh my god. I was gonna go high scoring, but they're gonna like slightly undercut me. I was gonna say, I'll do it. I don't care. Tennessee, 42-38.
Makes sense. Titans have no defense to speak of, so and Ravens have been banged
Wow,
up all year.
okay. So I'm getting a bold prediction on this one.
Yeah, on the favored team. We're so stupid.
Yeah, the favorite team because the team that freaking they're 5-0 with the home team and against these two, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made sense. No, it didn't.
What do you mean?
Like Baltimore and Tennessee when they played each other, the home team is 5-0 or 4-0.
Wait. Oh yeah, and it's Tennessee's field, right?
Oh wait, no, other way around. The away team is 4-0.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
That's why I said Baltimore. All right, moving on. Next up, we got. I believe this is Richie, right? For this one, the Chicago Bears versus the New Orleans Saints.
I think it's actually Jacob, but I'll take it anyway.
Oh yeah, it was Jacob. Sorry.
Oh, Jacob, are you sure, Jacob?
Go ahead.
All right. Well,
I think I gave it to Richie because he said he had a bold prediction at the beginning. So.
I'm still taking it, dude. Despite the Bears losing their last 6 to New Orleans, the Chicago Bears are walking away with wildcard weekend with a W, as they take down the New Orleans Saints 27-24. They will be the Vikings this year for the Saints.
Do you guys remember Case Keenum?
Yeah, I mean no, but yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, Saints running back situation. It's still fucked, right? Like they don't have Kamara, yeah, or anybody.
Oh
wait.
that's a good question.
I thought they were
Kamara
just-
illness posted a message on his official Twitter account Thursday that appears to indicate he's on track to play in the wildcard game.
Ooh,
Yeah, so now we're definitely going Saints. Okay, Saints.
Alvin Kamara says that he will play in the Saints wildcard playoff game.
We're going to Saints 31-21.
All right, I'm taking Saints. Saints as well, 23-16. Jacob.
I kind of want to go with the Bears, but I'm going to let Richie do this one and let him have this prediction. So I'll go with the Saints. 42-12. Nah, 40-12.
That's what I thought. All right.
I got carried
And
away.
last but you got carried away with what?
I got carried away with the twos.
Yeah. Settle down.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
All right. And last but certainly not least, the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll give it to Jacob because I
Yay.
skipped him last time.
yay! I think the Browns are going to win. I'm gonna go Browns 35-30.
All right, Richie.
I'm gonna say Browns also. No, I'm just kidding. Steelers win 35-21.
All right, Dan.
Steelers win 28-24.
Can't beat a team 3 times. Cleveland wins 24-20.
I'd like to point out Browns actually just won this past weekend.
All right, Pittsburgh wins. No, I'm sticking with Cleveland.
Damn it!
Nah, you're not getting a bold prediction. Cleveland.
Fine. I hate Baker too. I just want him to lose when it means a lot, just to kill him.
Oh, do you hate Baker?
Oh, God.
I don't like Baker.
Why?
He's not that great, and everyone makes him out to be like one of the great ones, and he's not. He's not a Cam Newton story, but he's not that great. Sorry, I'm not that impressed.
All right. Then that's the end of predictions. And now, before we go, we have our last thing to talk about, and it's our Super Bowl predictions. Who would like to go first?
I'll take it, but I'm doing my little predictor thing here first. So, as
Cheater.
Stupid as that sounds. What?
You cheater.
Cheater. It just helps me like get through the playoffs. I forget who I said before. In terms of the NFC, I think I said the Bucks before.
It's been like Rams Titans a lot, and then
Yeah.
I think he's still been on Titans. Not gonna lie.
He is still on Titans.
Yeah. Fuck it. Tampa Bay, Tennessee, just to be different. And then I'm gonna say Tampa Bay wins the Super Bowl.
Tampa Bay wins in their own house, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going back and forth though. So next week on the pod, I'm gonna say Tennessee wins, and the week after, I'm gonna say Tampa Bay, unless that can't happen at that point. So
Still sticking with my prediction for like 9 weeks at this point. Saints Chiefs win.
All right. Well, I'm still sticking with my prediction. Chiefs Packers win.
I think Chiefs and Tampa. I think Tampa's going to take it.
At least we all have different predictions.
Yeah. Just Richie and Jacob both have the same winner.
True.
but next week, if it's still possible, I'll say Tennessee wins.
Right, and if next week comes, I'm going to say the Steelers.
Didn't you say KC?
What?
Didn't you say KC at Tampa Bay?
I said the Chiefs and Tampa, and then Tampa's
Yeah.
going to...
Then
Yeah.
why'd you say next week the Steelers are gonna win?
I don't know, because I kind of want to see them beat the Browns. But I feel the Browns are going to win. So I got to see how the Steelers do. I'm not too confident in them right now. So...
All right. And with that being said, we are going to end off the podcast here because I feel all of our energy is dying. So I'm living it up before we end it off.
Good call. An hour and 45 podcast is taking a lot out of us.
Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate everyone watching. We hope you keep watching us as we figure out what we're going to do for the off season and figure out how we're going to make this podcast better. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and keep us motivated even though we're still going to do this. And yeah, thank you all for watching.
Yep.
Shout out to AJ's Alexander jersey.